Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome to this installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am sitting in my Aztek, which of course has pieces and parts and smells like car and cardboard and oh, there's all kinds of stuff going on today. We got all kinds of stuff sitting in here at this point in time. I know it has taken a while. I've been tearing this engine apart slowly for the last like 2 weeks or so, and like I said, I've never done it before, so I'm taking my time with it. Wasn't in a hurry to fix the car. Obviously, I've got my 2 other primary drivers. This is just my little collector car, my little hobby car, something for me to learn on as far as doing extensive jobs like this if need be, and just because I love the Pontiac Aztek so much. We are down to the heads themselves. If you did not watch the last video, hopefully you did. And we got basically everything off the engine. We were down to the heads. The heads have to come off, and that'll be it. We'll be down to the block. So we are about 75% done with the job, in my opinion. I don't really have a whole lot of time right now, at this point in the day, to actually work on this. I might try to come back to it a little later, but my wife and I have some plans this afternoon, so I have to start getting ready. But I do want to show you guys something. I came out here just a little bit ago to try and get the engine mount off. That was our big issue, was the mount that sits on this side of the engine. And if you look here, it is gone. The mount is finally off, and all it took was this PB blaster and this here rubber mallet that I purchased. So yeah, we did have every bolt out of the engine, or out of the bracket, I should say. Every bolt was gone. It was just seized on the engine somewhere. So let me show you guys. This was it. This was it. So right there at the top, that's where it goes onto the head. That's the head bolt. Obviously the motor mounts up there, and there's nothing else. There was these at the bottom, and then you see this little hole next to right there on that side. It turns out that there's a pin right there that slides into over top that pin. So when it goes back in, folds under, and then it sits in there like that. So that was it. I have asked countless people, even when I was at work and I'd be making deliveries to mechanic shops and everything, I'd be going through and I'd be asking people their advice. Told them I got every fastener out that I could find. It just got to the point where they were all saying that it had to be stuck. I was doing everything right the entire time. So it froze on this pin, so there's a bunch of blaster on here everywhere right now. And it's just it's pretty much all it was. It was just kind of seized on there. Now, of course, when I took that off, the exhaust shield came off with it because I had loosened all the other bolts off the exhaust shield. So this came off easily, and then this was inside the exhaust shield, and I have a feeling this is one of the studs from the exhaust. I don't know if it's broke. It may have broken off, but I was wondering, because from the looks of it, there's another one here falling apart. But that could have been, maybe, that could have been the reason why the exhaust was so loud over here. Maybe the bolt was just not in the exhaust. So, I don't know. I might try to find another exhaust manifold. Anyway. And if you see here, 2 of the studs for the exhaust shield are still in the engine. So, if you watched the last video, I loosened the one that was here, and then the shield just kind of popped off on the other side. I don't really know why. I mean, it does look like holes are wide. I don't know. I mean, I might just, maybe I'll find another shield. But yeah, I mean, that side came off with ease. This whole thing probably would have come off if that bracket wasn't even there on the actual engine. So that's amazing. I finally got that off. The only other thing that I'm waiting to do now is I'm going to have to get another type of ratchet or something to get this stud or this bolt out of this corner for this exhaust shield back here. This side is already loose, the bolt is gone. And then we can move forth. I put the rocker arms back in. I didn't tighten them. I put these back in the last time so they wouldn't get lost. So we'll take those out again at some point soon. And I didn't really have a good method of storing those at the moment. But that's it. So now I do, one of the next steps that we're going to probably end up doing a little bit later is we have to take this oil dipstick tube out. And there's oil in it. So I'm going to have to drain the oil out again. Because I think once the tube is out, we're probably going to lose the oil. I mean, I probably could just put my pan under there and maybe it'll just kind of run out on its own, which maybe I'll just do that. I mean, the oil is gonna have to come out anyway. But yeah, so I think just to do that, we'll have to loosen whatever this is, if this is still feasible to bolt here. First we take the dipstick out. Actually see since the car hasn't been running, the oil doesn't look too terrible. It still has a golden color to it. I mean, seriously, there's been no use of the oil whatsoever. Now, aside from that, I think we are going to have to take this mount off also, but this mount should be a lot easier. There's 3 bolts there right on the side of the head. And that's all that's going to take to get that one off. So we'll be able to take that mount off. She's almost there, and then those heads, let's see. Well, there's the outside bolts. This is one of the bolts, now that I think about it. It's a stud that the mount sits on, but we're going to have to use a deep well, but that's going to be one of our head bolts there, I think. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then there are 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the inside. Pop those 8 bolts out and that head comes off. So the hardest part still in this whole thing, I'm still worried about the exhaust itself. I have a feeling those studs are going to break. But nonetheless, like I said, we're about 75% done. And a little bit later on this afternoon, hopefully, I'll have some time if the sun's still out. It's pretty chilly right now. But hopefully I'll have some time, come back out here, and maybe we'll finally be able to get it done today. That'd be nice. If not today, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be pretty nice too. And then sure enough, hopefully, you know, we'll be able to get this thing on the road soon. I think I screwed up a little bit when I took something out and I chipped the front of my Aztek. Probably get a little bit of the, you know, touch-up paint, just a little pen. You can obviously tell the weather's gonna break soon. We're almost in spring, almost. You know, we're in March now, and we'll be able to get this thing washed, get it detailed. Okay, so that's it. I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, and we're back at it. Got a little extra time this afternoon, still pretty breezy, but we're gonna do what we can do. I've got the car up on the jack now, and once again we are going under to get the oil out. I don't know how to put the oil back in. I mean, I thought about pouring it down the center holes there where the paper towels are, because I'm sure that way it goes into the crank. I mean, you know, the oil fill is here. I'm sure if I were to just kind of carefully pour it into this, you know, head here, it'll make its way down, but I don't know. We obviously don't want to get oil into the passages here because, well, then it'll smoke. So I don't know. I don't really want to leave it without oil in the pan because I don't know when it's getting put back together, you know. But anyway, I do know I have to take it out now because the oil dipstick tube has to come out, and I don't know if you can really see it from this angle. Where is it? More this way, but I don't know if when we pull that out, if we're going to have oil leak from where the tube goes to. So I'm just gonna drain it anyway. And this way too, I actually want to see if there's going to be any water coming out first, because I think if I'm thinking of this correctly, oil floats. So all the water that may be in the engine should be at the bottom of the crank. So I'm assuming if we loosen the oil bolt, the oil plug, I wonder if we'll see some water come out, but we'll see what happens here. Oh, did I get it? Yeah, I got it. Okay. Now remember, we did the oil change not too long ago. Very, very short time. And only started the engine. I mean, the oil probably has like, what, 15 minutes on it? If that. So it's still brand new oil. There's just a way to get it to drip a little bit, you know. It'll probably flow out really fast since it's all opened up there. We'll see. Oh. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, it looks a little watery. It's got a red tint to it, which is interesting. Yeah, look. It might be a little watery. It sounds like water. So I don't know. Oh, okay, here it comes. You can see some of the, looks like some of the sludge contaminants came out first too. But it still has a golden color for the most part. I'm just going to set the plug in there for now. I'll wipe it off later. I mean, for the most part, it still looks like it's pretty decent oil. I wonder if we'll get any sludge out of it too. Kind of sucks because it's been sitting, so we didn't have a chance to run it before we drain it. But everything else is probably sitting in there, you know. But I mean, overall, I mean, the oil had no use. It's a shame that I'm probably can't really reuse it, only because the oil, you know, is definitely contaminated with water. I don't know if there's a way to separate that. Probably not. But it looks pretty good. Sorry, I don't know if anybody heard that. My neighbor across the street just yelled out to his dog. Even if I were to just dump this back into the engine and not let it run, I don't know, I just didn't want the crankcase to sit empty for so long. I don't want anything in there to seize up or anything. I'm not exactly sure what to do about that. I feel like this isn't draining in there. Did my plug fall in? My plug might have fell in. Oh, there we go. We're getting to the sludge now. Oh, there's the sludge. So there's our... yep. I wonder how much is going to fall out. Ew. There's all the black stuff, yep. Looks really weird when the clean oil's mixed in with it. Yeah. So I think I'm just going to let this sit open until we're done working with whatever we are up top. I'm just going to let everything drain. And we'll just kind of see what happens from there. So, yeah, look, it's mostly all black now. Of course, the wind is really active today, so it's going to probably blow everywhere. Oh, yep, see? Stupid wind. Alright, let's head up on top now. We'll see. Oh, wow, that was a lot. It's getting really goopy now. And we'll just see what we could do up on top. I think the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off the other torque mount, engine mount up on top. Okay, so for this mount, as I kind of explained earlier, there are 3 15mm bolts on the side. I got the socket on one of them, so there's 1, there's 2, and there's a 3rd one down below. I already kind of broke the torque on this one. Started off. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to get the head off the back side today, but I might be able to get it off the front side today. We'll see. Yes. There we go. Alright, number 2. I think they're the same size. Yep. This one, I hope, just comes right off. I mean, this is not buried under anything, you know, so... Oh no! This exhaust shield's in the way. Let's see, can I get it in through there? Yes, no, maybe? Kind of. Let's see. There we go. Oh, look, that loosened up so nice. Alright, great. Alright, that mount is now off. Got all the bolts in there also. I'm going to take the actual mounting bolt, I'll put it through there, so that way that whole assembly is together. And yeah, that was with the head, so we were going to have to take that off anyway. And I'm just going to leave this on. I don't think it's going to, well, maybe. I might have to take it back off, I don't know. We'll see what happens once we get to the actual exhaust. So yeah, these are going to be our actual exhaust studs, I think. Alright, so, because the one's gone. I think that's where the shield bolted onto there. That's the one bolt. Yeah, that's the one bolt for this shield, and that's the other bolt for the shield, that because the shield just kind of came right off. Alright, so that's going to be our actual exhaust. Better blast these. Definitely. I'm not counting on these coming out in one piece. I've heard and seen horror stories about exhaust, you know. I'm getting kind of low on this. Hopefully I don't spray nothing but air. Okay. And while we're at it, I know we're going to have to take care of that. Just drown those. Yeah, let's put this back here. And while we're at it, why don't we check to see what's coming out of the oil pan. See if we're done gooping. Nope, we are still gooping. Wow. So I guess that's a good thing. Just letting all the goop flow out. Okay, so now for the actual exhaust. We need the, I think it was 13 millimeter. 13. This is probably not going to go well. Deep well. Used a deep well. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Oh boy. Let's see if I can get this. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, it budged. Such a weird angle. Huh? Yeah, it's loosening. Well, I think we might be home free with this one. It's a nut, that's why. I was thinking it was going to be a whole screw. Well, I proceeded to get the nuts off of the exhaust studs. Here's what came out of the front. First of all, I found another one of these. So I think the entire left side of the exhaust, because one of these fell out onto that shield earlier this morning. This one fell out too, just a little bit ago. So both of the left side studs were, you know, the nuts came off of all of the other studs except for this one. The entire stud came out with it, which I found was very interesting. I'm probably going to buy new studs anyway. So those bottom two that were still in there were a pain. But yeah, I don't think any of the studs broke. I mean, that one came out. You can hear things just constantly falling off of this car. And you know, I think that's really it. Now getting this is going to be fun because of the other shield, which at this moment I can't get off yet. So I don't know if I'm going to really be able to work with that or not, but there's 3 bolts here. Once those are disconnected, this entire piece should be free, and I'm probably going to have to bang on it more with the mallet that I purchased. Try to get it to come loose. So let's go from there. All right, here we go. Front exhaust manifold is off. I had to cut those 2 studs there off. Only one of them was cooperative, so I just hacked off the other one since I'm going to have to replace them anyway. Okay, here's the the flange or whatever, and then the back exhaust going back there, so that's there. Here's the exhaust gasket, manifold gasket. Oh, there we go. You can tell that side's darker. Huh. So there's that. That's no good anymore. There's our dipstick tube. See? Now I wonder if we can get it out a little better. Oh, it's held on in there. It's all greased and stuff. We should just be able to pull it right out from my understanding. Let's see, this wiring harness is on there. Sheesh, that thing's really in there. I don't know. I mean, maybe we don't have to take it off. In the other video, they took it off, but we can still get to our bolts. I mean, it may not be a problem. That's where that hose goes. Yeah, that's the engine oil cooler line, which looks very flimsy. Is that a rubber boot? I think that's okay. I don't know. That's seems flimsy. So that's that. Oh, everything just looks so awful back under there. Holy crap. Alright. I think there's only one more step before we have to take that head off finally. I think that's to just remove the spark plugs. Remove the spark plugs. Luckily for me, not that one. Let's see, I thought I left it out. I have a 5/8, here it is. A 5/8 spark plug removal tool, and I think that's what these are. Indeed. Nice and easy. There we go. Nice and easy. Burning black. Double platinum plug. It's probably what I'll have to put back in there. Cylinder 2. Cylinder 4. There we go. At an even weirder angle. There we go. Again, burned black. Whew. Wow. Finally, cylinder 6. Oil plug. Or oil. You know, tube. This out of the way here. Oh, I don't think I'm at a good angle because of this. Let's see. Hope I didn't break it. Train's here. You don't want to set up. I probably have to work them out, no. But they're going to be replaced anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright. And again, burn black. Okay. We'll compare those to new spark plugs when we get them. So here it is, guys. This is it. The moment we've been waiting for. We are going to remove the first head from this Aztek engine. It's about time. Now for this task, I'm pretty sure it's a 15. They are 15s, yes. And they're probably going to be torqued on there pretty well, because these are very specific torque specifications when they're going back on. So for this task, I was able to obtain a piece of black pipe that I will use as a cheater bar to break the torque on these head bolts. This is it, guys. So let me get to it. This black pipe is working out wonderfully for a cheater bar. Last one. All right. And look, as soon as that head came off, I'm gonna lose all of my coolant now. Oh, crap. I didn't think to even bring the basin. It's falling on the cardboard. So, that should be alright. It's gonna get real messy now. Alright. So all the torques are broken on these bolts. Start taking them out. These bolts at this point are useless. You never want to you really don't want to reuse head bolts, only because of the simple fact that they're designed to stretch. Ooh, look at that. They're designed to stretch when they're torqued. So if you went to re-torque them, you know, once they were already stretched, then they're going to be no good. You're still going to have your leaks. So we bought ours. We bought a new box. I'll come back to that one with the ratchet because it's in a bad spot. Look at how different this one looks. It does not look as black as this one. So I wonder if our gasket might be blown on that side. That could be it. Oh no, this one looks bad too. I mean, I don't know if it's normal for those to look like that. I'll come back to that one. Let's take out the inside ones and see what they look like. Kind of dry. I think these are different sizes too. Yeah, the inside bolts on the head are going to be longer than the outside ones, with the exception of this, because that has the stud for the engine mount on top. You have to get some more cardboard under there. Dry. Excited. Dry. Actually, let me get that one going again. It's in a bad spot because of the oil tube. Try to rotate it. There we go. This one looks like it might have been wet. Julie, this is it.
You got it?
This is it. The first head's about to come off. And this one's got oil on it. Oh boy. Okay, this is gonna be a mess. Let's see how well this comes off. There's the antifreeze, but that's probably just because I didn't drain it. And look at the ports on that. So there's the head. Head number one's off. Got a lot of cleaning to do. And let's see, will the gasket come off? Oh, that antifreeze. for the most part, that came off with ease. Something tells me these are not that old. Look at all the sludge, all the goop. I don't know. I don't really see... I mean, I'm no expert at this. I'm sure whoever's watching this might be able to see more than I am, but I don't really see any failure on this. I just have a feeling maybe they weren't tightened down properly. I honestly think that's the situation here. But I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm no expert at this. This is my first time doing this. But we have to clean all of this up when we get to it. Make sure it's all shiny. I have to get a pick, clean out these ports. Obviously, I got to get the rest of the antifreeze out of there too. See, look at the antifreeze. It's amazing. The antifreeze is still green. It doesn't have any... It doesn't look like poop water or anything. It literally looks like somebody put fresh antifreeze in it. And now that antifreeze is all over my cardboard. That's okay. At least it's on the cardboard. I can clean it up easier. That's it, guys. Head number 1 is off. Let's get a... Hey, honey, could you rip off a couple of sheets of that for me, please? More than one?
3?
That's good. That should be good. Thank you. Let's put this in cylinder number 2. See if we can soak any of this up carefully. There we go. Now, obviously, honey, there's not supposed to be antifreeze in these.
Doesn't look like it.
No.
It reminds me of flubber.
Alright, that's really all that I'm going to be able to do today, guys. We will get back out here. Oh no, it's running. Nah. I'll soak it up. Anyway, so the next time I get back here, we'll work on getting the second head off. But I gotta get the exhaust off there too, and that's not gonna be easy. Hopefully I don't have to cut anything back there either. So, alright guys, well, head number 1's off. I'm gonna call it a day, and we'll go from there. So, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, it's been about a week since I last tried to take the exhaust manifold off from under the Aztek, as I am thinking, because it has to come off anyway. I'm going to just take the manifold off from straight behind the engine, like behind the oxygen sensor there. So we have to get back under the car, and then I just kind of want to pull this entire assembly up once the head bolts are loose, and then I'll worry about getting the exhaust manifold off of the head once it's out. So I tried doing it the last time that I was out here with just my normal hand ratchet and such, and yeah, not going anywhere. They have been sprayed with this numerous times, so hopefully enough has soaked on it to help break them loose, but I think we're gonna go far with this one. So I borrowed a pneumatic impact gun off a friend of mine. Got a couple of impact ratchets. Just found a 13mm impact socket by itself without actually being in a kit. So we're going to use that. And I bought some goggles because the car is rusty, and rust has been falling off on me every time I've been down there and made any kind of movement. Let's begin. Now, I honestly feel like so far there has not been any easy way to really get to this. especially with that impact gun and those extensions. There's quite a bit of weight on them. Let me show you what we're kind of dealing with here. First of all, I got a good look at the fuel filter now recently, and I bet that thing has never been changed. So we might as well add that and these fuel lines going from that filter. We might as well add that to our list of things to replace. These other lines I think are okay. They look like they are either plastic or not plastic, but like rubber hoses, or they're just encased, you know, pretty well. Okay, there's our exhaust. 2 studs, that's all we gotta get out. The one over here is not so bad to get to. It is around there somewhere. The light from the top is kind of making it difficult to see, but it's right there. So there's one, and the other one is on the other side. That's the one that's gonna be kind of difficult to get to. It's up here somewhere, right around there. Yeah, there it is. So hopefully the extension won't be too big. Hopefully we can get it on there. This one, I hope, will be the easier out of the two. But then once we unbolt that from the back of the engine there, then we should just be able to undo the head bolts and pull the head off with it. So let me crawl back out from underneath here, and I will get my my safety goggles on. Try not to get any rust in my face as I'm crawling out. There we go. Alright, we'll get to it. Now, as you can see, there's not a whole lot of space under here for me to even really use this arm. Kind of. I already don't like being under here as it is, so can't wait to see how well this is gonna work out. Hopefully it works out quick. Alright, we have made contact with the first bolt. Here we go. Man. Maybe we'll get a little more PB Blaster. I knew this part wasn't going to be easy. Oh, great. That part's not looking too healthy over here either. Alright, we got one. It broke, but that's what I was. No, it didn't break. Good. Nope, just a nut. Alright. We got one. Sheesh. This other one's going to be twice as hard. Okay, we're going to play a new game. So, there's a shield here. Looks like there may only be two 10mm bolts that hold it on. We'll try to see if maybe we can get these off. Maybe. Let's see. That wasn't so bad. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff falling out. And of course, more rust. Jeez, how one gets it out, I don't know. That might be a little better. Maybe. I don't think it's on it. Well guys, that's it. I only got one of the exhaust studs, or one of the exhaust nuts off from underneath the exhaust manifold. Even with the pneumatic air impact, I only got one off. The other one, I think what's going on is the impact socket. There's the train. The impact socket, I don't think is making full contact with the nut itself because of the stuff that's kind of in the way. So my new theory is if the exhaust were to be disconnected from the back manifold, keep the front motor mounts on, keep the engine sitting from leaning back, and maybe that opens up more room, but I really don't have anything that I can do about it now. But the one came off. The other one is not working with the pneumatic air impact, and I tried using my little impact. I have a little impact gun. Not quite as powerful as a pneumatic gun, but nonetheless, this one here, because these extensions and such, they fit up in there better, and this 13 millimeter socket actually makes more contact, I think, with that particular bolt than this one. You can see just how big this one is, and I think it kept slipping off, and I started getting worried that it was getting rounded out. So yeah, I tried using this one, and you know, it's still not budging. I might have to try to find a heat source now and maybe go back to this. I don't know, but needless to say, I've been out here for hours today, and only one of them came off. And this 5th video is really long, and I'm really disappointed because I thought by the end of the 5th video both heads were going to be off, but no. So unfortunately, I think I'm just going to end this video with the one head being off. I've got a couple of other vlogs coming up that I had already filmed, so we'll take a break from this, and in the meantime, if I can get that motor or that exhaust bolt off and get the other head off, we will continue, and then we'll look at the back side of the block and the condition of the other head and the head gasket, and we'll just kind of pick up there. So we'll just take a break, but for the most part, I mean, it's like 90% torn apart, and I'll just have to keep working on this little by little when I get a chance. So I guess there's going to be a part 6 in the near future. Other than that, if you've enjoyed this video overall, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Check out teespring.com/stores/Mike's Vehicle Spotlight for your MVS and vlog apparel. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Take care.